The Primus Epic system on Falcon aircraft features several databases that provide the pilot with navigation information essential to safe flight. The database updates can be found on red and blue CDs provided by Honeywell and Jeppesen. The blue CD contains electronic terminal chart updates and must be updated every 14 days. The red CD contains navigation database updates and other essential flight information and must be updated every 28 days. In this video, we'll demonstrate updating the blue disk on a Primus Epic Series Falcon aircraft. These procedures are applicable to all Primus Epic Falcon aircraft. To perform this task, you'll need the updated databases, provided on a CD supplied by Honeywell and Jeppesen, a remote terminal, which is a laptop running the remote terminal data loading software, and an interface cable like the LAN-TAP 10. If you don't have one, you can order a cable from ICS Aero or LAN Connections. There are 3 steps you should follow to perform the update. Connect the remote terminal to the aircraft, load the software, and finally, verify the databases. Before you begin, the aircraft must be properly set up. To do so, the aircraft must be on the ground. The avionics system must be powered up for about 10 minutes before beginning the data load. All MAU, MRC, and DMU circuit breakers must be closed. And the aircraft LAN must be operational. To begin, connect the remote terminal to the aircraft. There are 2 locations on the aircraft where you can connect to the LAN. The best place to connect is behind a panel on the co-pilot's sidewall. There's another connection in the aft maintenance compartment, but it requires a triaxial connector. Connect one end of the coax cable to the LAN maintenance computer port on the aircraft. Connect the other end to the LAN-TAP 10 kit. Also connect both the USB cable and the Ethernet cable from the LAN-TAP 10 kit to the remote terminal. Turn on the laptop and launch the remote terminal software. Now we're ready for the load. Locate the appropriate CD. Today, we'll be loading a blue disk. Select Data Loader and wait until the preloading of the CD drive is complete. Select the appropriate file from the CD. This initiates a configuration check. During the configuration check, the DLS short load logic determines the files to be loaded based on what files are already loaded on the aircraft. It also calculates the time needed for the load. If a module doesn't pass the configuration check, it won't be loaded. However, you can try the load a second time at the end of the procedure. After the configuration check completes, start the load. The load can take several minutes. At times it may seem as if the load is frozen or stopped. However, it is extremely important that you don't interrupt the load. The load status list will show 100% and say finishing. However, the load is not fully completed until the message "Loading Sequence Complete" is displayed. The load status list shows all the modules that received a data load. Go through the list and look for any modules that did not load. If any loads fail, wait until the loading process is complete and then select Retry. Selecting the Retry button will automatically examine the list of modules for failures and will attempt a single reload of any modules that were not updated on the original attempt. Another option is to go back and target load the failed module. If a module fails to load, attempt the load again. If the load fails twice, cycle power to the affected module and try the load again. File loading errors are entered into a fault log on your remote terminal. The fault log is normally located in the C drive in a folder titled DLS Work. If you encounter any problems that you can't easily resolve, copy the log file and send it to the Honeywell or Dassault help desk. Once the data has been loaded onto the aircraft, perform a software load check to verify that the databases were loaded properly. The first step in the software load check is to cycle power on the aircraft after all the software data loading is complete. Once the aircraft is powered down, it is very important to wait at least 2 minutes before reapplying power. During the reset sequence, the message CMC connection failed is displayed, followed by the IP address. This is normal. Once power is reapplied, wait at least 5 minutes. On the lower MDU, access the Avionics Initialization panel. Verify that the dates correspond to the update performed. Disconnect the remote terminal and be sure to put the termination resistor back on the connector. For more details on data loading, refer to the Aircraft Maintenance Manual. For technical assistance, contact the Honeywell Technical Operations Center